Hello children, in the last class we have studied about how the germ layers are formed, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Okay, in this class we are going to study about parturition. So what is parturition? That is the ejection of fully formed, or you can say expulsion of fully formed fetus from the uterus. That is known as parturition. So expulsion of fetus from the uterus after completion of gestation. After completion of gestation. What do you mean by gestation? Gestation is the pregnancy period. That means the pregnancy period of human female is about 9 months. When we count in days, it is of 280 days. That means in the 280 days or in 9 months, the fetus completes its development and they are expelled out of the uterus. That is known as parturition. This parturition is a neuroendocrine mechanism. It is a neuroendocrine mechanism. So what is this neuroendocrine mechanism? We'll try to understand how the process takes place. Here, when the fetus is fully formed, we can write here as fully formed fetus, plus placenta. So that is when the fetus is fully formed and the placenta and their placenta. What do you mean by placenta? It is the structural and functional unit formed between fetus and the mother. So this fully formed fetus and its placenta releases a factor. That factor a factor is released. That factor stimulates fetus ejection reflex. That factor stimulates fetus ejection reflex. Okay, this fetus ejection reflex causes a mild contraction of the uterus. So this causes a mild contraction of uterus. Okay, this mild contraction of the uterus stimulates the posterior pituitary gland. It stimulates posterior pituitary gland. So where this posterior pituitary gland is located? This posterior pituitary gland is located in the brain. Okay, and this releases a hormone called oxytocin. This releases a hormone called oxytocin. This hormone is also known as birth hormone. It is also known as birth hormone. It is a birth hormone. So what we have seen, a fully formed fetus and the placenta releases a factor. That factor stimulates that fetus ejection reflex, causes a fetus ejection reflex, and this reflex causes a mild contraction of the uterus. So this mild contraction of the uterus stimulate posterior pituitary gland to produce the oxytocin. So this oxytocin stimulate the wall of the uterus. So again contraction increases. So contraction of uterus increases. Okay. Now this contraction again stimulates the posterior pituitary gland to secrete more oxytocin. When the level of the oxytocin become higher, so again the contraction increases, or you can say the intensity of the contraction increases, causing labor pain. After that, fetus is expelled out. Expulsion of fetus takes place. Okay, this is known as parturition. This is the flow chart of parturition. So what we have seen, a fully formed fetus and the placenta, it releases a factor. That factor stimulates and causes a reflex. That reflex is known as fetus ejection reflex. This reflex causes a mild contraction of the uterus. This mild contraction stimulates the posterior pituitary gland. Posterior pituitary gland releases oxytocin. Oxytocin is also known as the birth hormone. This birth hormone stimulates the contraction of the uterus. So the contraction increases. Okay. This increase in the contraction again stimulates the posterior pituitary to release more oxytocin. So the level of the oxytocin increases in the blood. As the level increases, the intensity of the contraction also increases. Thus, fetus is expelled out. So this is the simplest way to understand the process of parturition. Now, this parturition is divided into different phases. It is divided into different phases. Let us study that. Phases. The first phase is dilation. Dilation phase. So what is dilation? During the expulsion of the fetus, the cervix is to be expanded. There should be a dilation in the cervix. So that dilation is caused due to a hormone called relaxin. Relaxin is a hormone which helps in dilating the cervix. Why the dilation is essential? With the help of the dilation only, the cervix will expand and expulsion of the fetus takes place. Now, this relaxin is secreted from where? From corpus luteum. This relaxin is secreted from the corpus luteum. Where this corpus luteum is located? It is located in the ovary. So, ovary, that is the corpus luteum which is present in the ovary, that releases relaxin. That relaxin dilates cervix. It helps in the dilation of cervix. Cervix get dilated and it is easily get expanded and expulsion of the fetus takes place. Now, what is the second phase? Second phase is called expulsion phase. Expulsion phase. This expulsion phase is controlled by hormone oxytocin. Okay, this expulsion phase is controlled by hormone oxytocin, which is also known as the birth hormone. What we have studied earlier, the fully formed fetus and the placenta releases a factor. This factor helps in causing a reflex action. What is that reflex action? Fetus ejection reflex. That causes mild contraction of the uterus. This mild contraction stimulates posterior pituitary gland to release oxytocin. This oxytocin increases the contraction of the uterus. During this contraction, first, amniotic cavities break. That is, there is a cavity which is known as amniotic cavity. Amniotic cavity breaks. What is this amniotic cavity? Children, if you remember, in the last class we have studied about the embryogenesis, or the different formation of different germ layer. So let me draw this diagram. Okay, this is the disc shaped embryonal disc. Okay, here you can see a cavity which is formed by the degeneration of Rauber's cell. That is the Rauber's cell which is degenerated and a cavity is formed. During the process of formation of germ layer, so this process actually takes place here. I'm not going to draw the different germ layers now. Here, what happened? The cavity also increases, forming a cavity like this. Okay, this cavity increases, and this cavity is known as amniotic cavity. Okay, this cavity is filled by amniotic fluid. It is filled by amniotic fluid. Okay, so what happened during this contraction of the uterus? Is it clear now how the cavity is formed? First of all, the Rauber's cell, this is a Rauber's cell. Rauber's cell get degenerated and a cavity is formed. As development proceeds, the cavity expands and forms the amniotic cavity that is filled with amniotic fluid. Okay, so what happened during contraction? First, this cavity breaks. This cavity breaks and releases amniotic fluid. Okay, after the release of amniotic fluid, fetus is expelled out. Fetus expulsion takes place. Okay, when the fetus is expelled out, the fetus is connected with umbilical cord. So there is an umbilical cord. Okay, what is that umbilical cord? If you remember, children, in the last class we have studied, there is, suppose it is a embryo, or you can say a fetus. It is connected with the umbilical cord with that of a placenta. Suppose here it is placenta, this is embryo, and this is the umbilical cord. This is the umbilical cord. Okay, so what is this umbilical cord? It connects the embryo with that of the placenta. Okay, so after expulsion, this umbilical cord get separated by cutting. So we can write here as umbilical cord is cut. Okay, as soon as the umbilical cord cuts, or as soon as the fetus expelled out, at the time what happened? The lungs of the fetus expands. Lungs expand and they start doing respiration. Starts respiration. Earlier, the fetus is unable to do respiration because it is totally dependent on its mother for the exchange of gases. Now, as soon as it comes out of the uterus, its lungs expands and they started to exchange gas. That is, the respiration takes place. Okay, so here this is the different steps of expulsion. Okay, now This is known as the expulsion phase. Next phase is called after birth. Third phase is known as after birth phase. What is after birth phase? Now, after the expulsion of the fetus, the size of the uterus reduces or it gets contracts. So what is there inside the uterus? Placenta. Okay, placenta now get degenerated, or you can say it is separated from the wall of the uterus. As the contraction of the uterus takes place, after the birth of the fetus, this placenta is expelled out. So here, expulsion of placenta takes place. Expulsion of placenta. Okay, so that is known as after birth phase. So in the after birth phase, what happened? The expulsion of placenta takes place. Actually, placenta is in the form of a disc inside the uterus. It gets separated from the uterus, and after the expulsion of the fetus, the placenta is expelled out. So these are the three phases of parturition. So what are the three phases of parturition? First is dilation phase. Why dilation is required? Dilation is required to expand the organs, that is the pelvic regions. Okay, that is in the the cervix, vaginal cavity, and all. Okay, that is caused by a hormone called relaxin. Okay, relaxin helps in dilation of cervix. Next is expulsion. What is expulsion? The main hormone involved in the process of expulsion is the oxytocin, that is the birth hormone. That means when the fully formed fetus and the placenta releases a factor, a reflex action taking place, that is known as the fetal ejection reflex, that contracts the uterus. There is a mild contraction that causes the secretion or stimulate the posterior pituitary gland to secrete the oxytocin, and contraction increases. This amniotic cavity breaks first, and then amniotic fluid is released, and then the fetus is expelled out. After that, umbilical cord is cut and it is separated, and the lungs of the baby expands, and the fetus, or means the infant, started to respire by itself. Okay. After that comes this after birth phase. So what happens in the after birth phase? After the expulsion of this fetus, the size of the uterus reduces. When the size of the uterus reduces, there is a contraction of uterus. Okay, the placenta, which is joined with the wall of the uterus, gets separated and it is expelled out. That is known as the after birth phase. So this is all about the parturition. The next topic is lactation. Lactation is the secretion and ejection of milk is known as lactation. So what is lactation? It is the secretion and ejection of milk. Again, it is having two phases. First phase is called milk secretion. Okay, in this phase, what happened? When the level of progesterone and estrogen decreases. Okay, at the time what happened? How the level of the progesterone and estrogen is decreased? When after birth, what happened? The placenta is ejected out or expelled out. Automatically the level of the progesterone decreases. Why? Placenta is responsible for the secretion of most of the progesterone during pregnancy. Okay, when the that means after birth, when the placenta is released out or expelled out, there is a decrease in the level of progesterone and estrogen. So this stimulate the decreased level of progesterone and estrogen stimulate anterior pituitary gland that secrete a hormone called prolactin. Okay, they secrete a hormone called prolactin. Prolactin stimulate the alveoli of the mammary gland. It stimulate alveoli of mammary gland. Okay, so what is alveoli? If you remember, children, when we have studied about reproduction in female, we have studied mammary gland. Inside the mammary gland, there is a structure which is known as the alveoli. This is the alveoli. Okay, so this prolactin stimulates the alveoli and milk is secreted inside this cavity. Okay, so this alveoli secretes milk. Okay, this process is known as lactogenesis. This process is known as lactogenesis. So what happens? When the level of progesterone and estrogen decreases, it stimulates the anterior pituitary gland to release prolactin, and prolactin stimulate alveoli of the mammary gland to secrete milk. Milk is secreted in the alveoli. Okay, this process is known as lactogenesis. There is one more process which is known as the galactogenesis. Galactogenesis is it maintain the production of milk continuously. It maintain production of milk continuously. There is a continuous production of milk and flow of milk. That is that process is known as galactogenesis. That is controlled by hormone called growth hormone and thyroxine. So thyroxine and growth hormone are responsible for continuous flow and maintenance of the production of milk. So that is known as galactogenesis. So for the lactation, secretion of milk, which hormone is responsible? Prolactin, and that process is known as lactogenesis. And galactogenesis, it maintains the production of the milk. Now, what is the next phase? The next phase is known as milk ejection. Next phase is known as, second phase is known as milk ejection. So what is milk ejection? This milk ejection is due to hormone called oxytocin. This oxytocin contracts the muscles of the mammary gland and milk is ejected. So milk secretion is due to prolactin and milk ejection is due to oxytocin hormone, and continuous maintenance of the flow of milk is due to growth hormone and thyroxine. There is one more term, that is colostrum. What is colostrum? Colostrum is said to be the first milk of the mother. This is the first milk. This milk is thick and yellowish in color, and it is very essential for fetus, or you can say the newborn infant, because it is having antibody. Okay, antibody like IgA. It can able to resist against diseases. Okay, that is very essential for the babies. Okay, next, how the sex of the baby is determined. Who is responsible for the determining the sex of the baby? The sex of the baby is determined by male. Why? Male is having a character of heterogamety. What do you mean by heterogamety? Heterogamety means male can produce two types of gametes. Okay, but females are homogametic. So males are responsible for the determination of sex determination. So sex determination is due to male. Why? Male is responsible for the sex determination. Reason is that it produces two types of gamete. What are the gametes? Sex of the male, we can represent it as XY, it is a sex chromosome. Female is represented as XX. It produces gamete X and Y. 50% of the gamete carries X chromosome and 50% of the gamete carries Y chromosome. Here the female can produce only one type of gamete, that is all are carrying X chromosome. When this X chromosome fuses with, when the gamete carrying X chromosome fuses with the female, so female child is produced. When the Y carrying spermatozoa or gamete fuses with the egg, it produces male child. So here it is female child is produced and here male child is produced. Who is responsible for this? Males are responsible for sex determination. There is one more term in your textbook, that is stem cell. What is stem cell? In order to understand, let me take you back to the blastocyst stage. So when you, this is the inner cell mass, okay? So I'm not going to draw the trophoblast. This is the inner cell mass. This inner cell mass undergo differentiation to form 3 germ layer. That is what we have studied. Sometimes what happens, some of the cells of this inner cell mass do not undergo any differentiation. So we can write it as undifferentiated cells. These are said to be the undifferentiated cells. Okay, this undifferentiated cells has the potency, it has the potency to form tissues and organ. To form tissues and organ. Okay, so what you have seen? There is some cells are undifferentiated. This undifferentiated cells has the potency to form tissues and organ. That cells are known as stem cells. Nowadays, these stem cells are preserved and by a process of cryopreservation. Reason is that in the lifetime of this infant, if some problem happens in any organ, that can be replaced by organ formed from this stem cells. Okay, even these tissues and organ can be given to their close relatives like parents and grandparents. Okay, this is the importance of stem cells. So dear students, we have completed this human reproduction chapter. Now we'll see certain questions from this chapter. Dear children, now you can see in your screens some questions. You go through this question and try to take a snap of this question. Okay, so this will help. These are some questions which I have selected from the CBSE papers. Okay, so you do it, and also there are certain diagrams like diagrams of TS of seminiferous tubule, diagram of spermatozoa, TS of ovary, diagram of blastocyst. This you have to practice continuously. Okay, so dear children, practice makes a person perfect. So work hard, and also you take precautionary measures. What are the precautionary measures against COVID? That is use of mask and hand washing frequently with soap and water, and social distancing are some of the precautionary measures to fight against COVID. Take care, children. Good luck. Thank you.